Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James, and it's time for another installment of How to Play the Accelerated Dragon. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at the main line of the Accelerated Dragon, at least for white, whenever they're playing the Bishop E2 move. I would say I'm not too afraid of this variation in particular, but you do have to know the right moves to play along. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look. We start off with E4, C5, Knight f3, G6, Accelerated Dragon. D4, C takes, Knight takes, Bishop G7, Knight C3, Knight C6, attacking the Knight, Bishop B3, defending it, Knight F6, and Bishop B2. So we looked at a few different variations already. We had the Bishop C4 line, we looked at Queen D2, which is a mistake, and F3. There's many different ways you can try to play this as white. With that being said, this is the Bishop B2, just a classical variation. Here, white's just saying, you know what, I want to bring my bishop out, nowhere scary, and I just want to castle. Well, the best move here for black, of course, is to go ahead and castle. Remember, don't try to play D5 before you have castled. What's wrong with this is that you can get into some trouble with the Bishop B5 variations. Now, here it's not too bad for you, but again, I like to stick to the principles and get your king castle before you start your middle game planning. So, castles happens, white castles, and well, if you don't play D5 here, I mean, you just won't be in the best way to challenge your opponent. So here, black goes in and plays it, D5. And, well, white's best move, pawn takes, knight takes. And in the other game, we have seen knight takes C6 already. So with that being said, I want to take a look at this other idea, which is where they play the good move. They go ahead and play knight takes D5, queen takes D5, and this move, bishop to F3. Now, this move actually has a little bit of bite to it. And here, well, if you haven't played this line, you probably wouldn't find the best move here. Or maybe you will. Go ahead and push pause here. See, what is the best move here for black? Alright, like I said, you probably wouldn't guess this move because it's one of those moves that is part of the opening. If you're brand new to the situation, you probably won't find it because it is a tough move to find. With that being said, what move did you look for? Well, there's quite a few moves here to play here, and one of the things that you have to be worried about, not just the queen being attacked, but also putting pressure on the knight. And hopefully no one said queen c5 here, as this was just losing the game instantly. Here you see you put yourself into a discovery, so knight takes c6 just wins a piece. With that being said, I think a lot of people here would play the natural move, which is what I usually play during these games, is to play queen to c4. And although I say, well, this is not the worst move, this is not the best move as far as computer is concerned. And here, the game can continue. Knight takes c6, b takes c6. And, well, black is in a slightly better position here, mostly because his bishops are going to come out. And you can see you're naturally putting pressure on the pawns over here. You also have this open file over here. Black will have plenty of counterplay. Whether or not that will come to a full advantage, that's the fight right here. With that being said, the move here that the computer recommends, and what I've actually tried in chess games, is actually to play the move of queen to a5. And I will say this queen to a5 does have a 27% win rate versus they don't even put on here how many wins that white actually had. With that being said, it's 65% draw rate for this game, so white has a very minuscule amount. So this queen a5 idea is very, very interesting and should definitely be tried out. And, well, in the game, they went ahead and played knight b3 attacking the queen. Interesting move. I know plenty of you guys are asking, hey, what about knight takes on c6? What about bishop takes on c6? Basically, black is just going to be getting very good compensation, like I said, with these pawns over here. In fact, in the main line, after knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, well, you can see that simple chess, rook b8 gets played. And, well, is there any good way to save this pawn? Not that I can see. And here, black is going to win back the pawn, but also have good play with it. And here, in all lines, black is already in a better situation. You can see this b2 pawn just can't be saved unless you want to sacrifice a rook, which you're more than welcome to do. So in the game, after queen a5, after queen a5, knight b3 got played. Okay, queen went back to c7, pawn to c3. And here, rook d8 exclam, simple chess, just developing with the threat, free tempo off the queen. Queen to e2 got played, bishop to f5, again developing with the threat. Here the threat is just to play bishop d3, which is going to skewer the queen and the rook. And white plays an interesting move here. I say interesting, this is just a mistake. Bishop takes on c6, what do you play? Simple chess. We developed with the threat, let's go ahead and finish it out. Let's carry out this idea. Bishop d3 gets played. queen to f3, and now you simply take on f1. So now you're going to be up the exchange. Both bishops are hanging right now, but the Inter-Samoa won't really work here. As we can see, this really nice idea. Bishop takes on b7, attacking the rook. And, well, I think most players here would most likely go ahead and play the rook to b8, which is still good in this position. But here, black found the nice creative move of bishop b2 exclam. The idea is very simple, overloading the queen here, trying to defend the bishop over here, and this also square on the e2. Well, queen c6 got played, and, well, another beautiful move here, develop with a threat, rook a to c8. Remember, never try to go with your opponent's ideas. Most of the time your opponent has ideas, they're going to be good for you. So just out of pure logic, at least with me, I always try to go against my opponent's ideas. I always assume it's bad for me, so I always try to create my own ideas against theirs. And here, well, they wanted me to take. Instead, I want to develop my last piece, and rook c8 is a beautiful way to do this. Obviously, the bishop cannot take, or else we'll simply take the queen on c6. And, well, if they do take on c7, well, the rook gets to move away here, so just free tempo gets played. But here, white's in a creative move. Queen to a5 got played. You can see here, again, you cannot take on c6. Bishop can take, knight can take. Oh my gosh, things are going a little bit crazy now. But whenever you're in crazy positions, always try to play the simple moves. And that's exactly what black did here. So like I said, most of the time your opponent has an idea, it's usually going to be good for them. Well, sometimes their ideas do not work out as planned. Sometimes they push a little too hard. Queen takes on a5. Well, don't we just take on c8? Yep, this is exactly what white was planning. But here, another beautiful move by black. Queen takes on a2. Here, of course, the rook cannot take because of the back ring checkmate on d1. And here you can see, although we're not up the exchange anymore, well, we're just going to be grabbing pawns over here and have a good advantage as far as material goes. Rook e1 got played. Queen takes on b2. Now c3 is weak. You can see, again, the rook can't take because it's, well, back range checkmates are still being threatened over here. Pawn g3 got played, a5, and this is really the hero pawn over here. The a pawn over here is just a passed pawn. You can see that black is already controlling a lot of these squares over here. So, well, that's the plan. Let's just push the passed pawn. Bishop to b7 got played, rook to b8, bishop back to c8. Here you can see, where does the bishop move to? There really is no square to move the bishop to. Bishop a6, you'll simply just go ahead and look about taking, maybe even taking on c3 here in some variations. But either way, this is just losing material. The bishop has to retreat back, and h5 exclam gets played. Not only does this gain some more squares on this king side, but it also gives a nice escape route in case a check does come in with the queen to e8 here. All right, bishop to a7 got played to attack the rook. No problem. How'd you know I wanted to move my rook anyways? But nice little tempo right here. Queen to d2 gets played. Rook a1 got played. For anyone asking, what happens if rook takes on e2 here? Well, of course, if we take back, the bishop will take back on b8. We'll be down a piece. So simple chess. After this move of queen d2 exclam, if they do take, we simply just had a check in between an Inter-Samoa. Rook to b1 check. King moves, and now we can take here safely. Well, in the game after queen d2, rook a1, it's game over here. White just played queen takes on c3, and, well, that was enough for white. White just went ahead and resigned. Hey, wait a second, isn't our rook still hanging? Well, yes, but you're still hanging too, and I am also asking you to trade queens. And again, this is the winning idea right here. This is a passed pawn on the a file. As you can see, the bishops are doing a very good job by pushing it over. Already in this position, the computer is giving us -5, meaning we're basically up a rook in this position. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this idea. This one is the Accelerated Dragon, the main line for them whenever they do play the bishop to e2 variation. Just remember to castle first, and after they castle, we go d5, pawn takes, knight takes, queen takes, bishop f3. This is the critical line in my opinion, and here we're going to play the book move, or the computer move of queen to a5. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you in the next video.